Hello everyone and welcome back to another video in BeamNG.Drive, and as you guys might have guessed, the reason why I am making a video again is because another major update has happened. This time it is the update 0.36, also known as the summer release. BeamNG devs, the way they work is they usually do about 4 updates per year. There's a spring release, a summer release, a fall release, and a winter release. So unless I have more time, I'm usually going to be making about 4 videos per year because I always cover the BeamNG updates for you regardless of if I have time, whereas some other things I don't really have time for anymore. Anyways, I'd like to apologize for not getting this video out sooner in the day. I saw the information about the update this morning, but I have been very busy today working on many different things, so I have not, and I've been away from home, so I haven't had time to record this. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the reason why we're starting on the main menu today instead of starting in an actual map like we usually do is because the main menu is one of the main things they updated. So you can remember probably the old main menu had a lot more options. Like there was quite a few small tiles here for everything, but they've kind of consolidated everything to make it more big and easier to navigate, which I like. So obviously you still got your repository, credits, options, and quit down here. That has not changed at all. Those have carried over from the old menu. But they have added a new option called Quick Start Experiences. Now these are just different experiences you can start if you really want to. They're kind of like scenarios, I would say, but I don't think they require you to finish with stars or any of that junk. You don't have to complete certain missions for stars. I think it's just kind of a way to like quick start your experience in BeamNG if you only want to play for 5 minutes and you only want to play a certain type of driving. You can use these and it'll automatically take you there. So you got that. Obviously you got the free roam button, which we all know what that does. Career says coming soon, but if you click on it 3 times, you can play the experimental career. We all know that as well. That's still there. And then everything else has been consolidated under more. So if you click on this, you see Rally, which also you can play experimentally by clicking 3 times. Campaigns, Scenarios, Time Trials, Garage, Bus Routes, Light Runner, Track Builder, Replays, Stats. Most of this stuff I never use. I'm more of a free roam guy. I like just doing whatever I want to in the game. But if you do want to do any of this stuff, it's now going to be under the More tab, which, like I said, I like what they've done here. It makes it more simple and easy to navigate, especially for newer players, because before it looked like this with a bunch of small tiles, which can kind of get confusing. So all the large ones is kind of nice. So for the next part, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a map because all the rest of the stuff has to be shown in a map. Now, nothing really specific, which I'm sorry guys, you're going to have to bear with me through this loading screen. I don't know if you guys knew this about my videos, but I don't actually edit my videos. I just film a raw video and then upload it because, as I've mentioned before, I don't have a huge amount of time. I'm a very busy guy, hence why I don't make a huge amount of videos. So I actually don't edit my videos. Now, I do make a thumbnail, but my thumbnail is actually made in Microsoft Paint 3D, so it doesn't take very long to do. I just kind of take a screenshot of the new update and then upload it there. Add some writing. There you go. So yeah, I don't actually edit my videos, so I'm sorry you're gonna have to bear with me through this loading screen. But anyways, as I was saying before, there was no major map update this update. Now there was a couple updates to some of the levels and missions in West Coast USA, but I'm not gonna waste you guys' time looking at all those. It would just make the video too long. So if you want to see all the new missions and whatnot, go to the BeamNG update notes or whatever. You can see exactly everything they updated, and you can go explore West Coast and see the new missions. Now, one thing I can tell you about missions is they have been remastered a bit so that when they show up on the map, they're a little bit less intrusive. So remember how before they used to be kind of annoying, or I don't know why I'm getting a Lua error, but they used to be kind of annoying where if you would park somewhere, it would expand and become a huge thing, and you wouldn't be able to hit your escape key or whatever because of the whole missions thing. Guess the map's gonna load piece by piece. But anyways, yeah, it was kind of intrusive before, but now they've kind of tweaked it a little bit, so the missions are placed off roads and so not on the roads anymore, and they're a little less intrusive. So that's one thing I can tell you about missions. Other than that, the other small stuff includes, obviously there's your normal UI updates. They've updated some of the UI, as well as, like I said, tweaking the missions a little bit, which I'm not going to go into all that. If you want to see all that, you can go to the BeamNG dev notes on the changes made, which you'll find right on the BeamNG website. It's right there, I'm sure. But yeah, so here we are in Utah. There's no reason for me to come to Utah. It's just kind of a map to show you everything because there was no update. But anyways, the two major, well, first of all, let's talk about this. So the radial menu has also received an update where now, actually, let me escape from that. So now you have even more options you can use. So you got vehicle actions, and they've kind of just organized it better. Before, everything was a little bit like too lumped together. So they've added some more options like cruise control, stuff like that, which, if you ask me, you should just have a UI option or a hotkey for, because coming to the menu to engage cruise control is not the best option. Anyways, that's besides the point. You obviously got your traffic still, all that stuff. The tornado, if you were wondering, this is not a vanilla game option. This is just a mod, which is actually made by, let me show you this real quick. The mod is made by, it's made by Stefan750, which if you watch Komodo Gaming, you'll know who he is. He plays with them all the time. But anyways, it's available on the repository for free if you want to try it out. It's really cool. It adds a tornado to BeamNG.Drive. You can access it in the UI like I was showing you. But anyways, not that. I keep on clicking the wrong thing. See, guys, I still haven't recovered from the last major update. I'm still used to the old radial menu keys of pressing escape to get it. But now I got to tell myself you got to press E. Anyways, going on, you got all your vehicle actions, obviously, which I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Here we go. You can just do this to exit your vehicle. You can click it in the radial menu to walk around. But honestly, I would just recommend binding a hotkey if you already don't have one. For me, it's just F. That's way faster than using the menu. And I don't know why it's not popping up now. Okay, the radial menu doesn't want to come up for me. But anyways, just a quick overview is that they reorganized everything, and they made it a little bit more friendly, and they added some more options and kind of organized it all. Anyways, the two major things that happened this update is, well, there's actually three. Number one, they added more configurations to the MD series. So obviously we had our tankers, we had our flatbeds, we had our skid bricks, I think we had our cargo boxes too, log trucks, but they have added school bus configurations to the MD series, as well as armored trucks. So the armored trucks are basically meant to represent kind of like a, let's just say, money truck that you would see like at a store picking up money, stuff like that. That's kind of what these are for, made to transport money. But yeah, you got a couple different configurations for the bus, prison, school bus, all this stuff. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and spawn one in so you guys can see it. There we go. It's taking a second to load, probably because it's a new vehicle. Come on, stop lagging. There we go. So, honestly, the front of these kind of remind me of the, I would say, 80s, 90s Ford buses. So Ford used to make a B-body chassis for school buses, and this kind of reminds me of the front of that. It's kind of like an older design, but I honestly like it. It looks really nice. So, obviously, you got your, your normal MD interior in here in the front, and then you got all your rows of seating. Actually, a lot of the controls work, surprisingly, so let me pull this up. None of them are really bound, but so you got your lights, obviously, that work. The stop sign comes out, as well as this little thing. So it is very realistic when it comes to this. Let me try this one. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'm just learning all this stuff as well. I'm trying to figure it out for the first time. I don't know why that's not turning off. Let me just reset the vehicle. And master, I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, there's a bunch of controls here on the panel. as well as, well, and then you got the strobe light too, which is this little thing up here that you'll sometimes see on school buses in real life, like in bad weather or so. You got the amber lights, which I don't know why that's not turning on. Maybe it did, and I'm not looking in the right place. Anyways, but yeah, you got that. I'm just clicking all the buttons, honestly, to see what happens. I'm sure that fan works as well. Got a dome light in here that comes on, turns off. Actually, 3 dome lights, interesting. And yeah, you can turn on the little fan, which is a really nice detail, honestly. They didn't need to include that, but that is really nice. You can toggle that little fan on and off like that. Kind of unrealistic how it starts and stops instantly, but oh well. I won't complain against the BeamNG devs. They've honestly done a great job with this. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. These are just the brake control. Oh yeah, and you can also open the doors. I forgot to mention that. So the door controls, I believe, is not that. It's going to be, yeah, this one right here. So you can do that as well, which is really cool. And then the top window hatches also open, which I think you need to open them from inside. Yeah, the emergency exit hatches, which normally in real life you would never open this unless there was like a fire or something like that, but these open as well, which is kind of a nice touch. I know a few of the windows, yeah, the windows also kind of open, a few of them. Only the ones with the red handles, which those would be the emergency windows, so it makes sense why only those would open, because in real life, the windows on a school bus in real life, only the top half slides down, and then there's like 2 emergency windows or so on each side that actually swing out in case of like a fire or something and you had to get off. And then obviously the rear door opens as well. So that's honestly really cool. And what's even better is that you see here, it's obviously an MD Series MD70 chassis, but it says Wentworth back here, which would be the bus coach manufacturer, which is really cool touch because in real life this happens a lot as well. Like I'll give an example. So in real life, Thomas Built Buses builds the actual bus, like interior and box, the bus box, but they use a Freightliner M2 business class chassis for it. So that's one good example of it. And just like I said earlier, Ford used to make bus frames and chassis with the engine and all that, but I think Bluebird or somebody else made the actual bus box thingy, the interior, you know what I mean. But yeah, I've been on this school bus for way too long. I apologize, guys, for how long the video is going. But so you got the bus, and then like I said, you got the armored truck, which I'm just gonna go ahead and grab one of these real fast. And like I said, you got different variations. You got a prison bus, a JATO bus, an off-road bus. You also have different variations of this thing. And again, inside it's just a normal MD series, manual transmission, all that. That's the ignition. I don't know what I'm doing. But you can see it is armored. You got the grates over the windows. I'm sure it's reinforced glass as well. In the back, you got like the place you would store the money. Again, the grates over the windows. The seat where the guy in the back would sit, obviously that's all armored. And I know I watched the if you guys want to watch their videos on what they did to all these things and all their updates, you can always just search BeamNG channel on YouTube and you should be able to find their channel. But yeah, in their update video they talked about how, in fact, actually I think you can even lock this. Yeah, you can lock it. Well, I don't know why it still came open, but anyways, you can go watch their video, and actually they which these has sirens as well. But yeah, they said in their video that these armored trucks actually have reinforced frames as well. So if you went and hit something with it, it would be able to take more hits and damage than it would in normally, than a normal truck would or whatnot. You can unlock and lock all the doors from here, turn on the lights, all that stuff. Actually, I don't even think this has a thing there. Differential. The interesting thing about this one too is it actually doesn't have any hood pulls on the outside like the normal MD series. Like we were just on the school bus, I showed you how you just click the things here on the outside to open the hood. But This one has a different hood that only the top opens. It doesn't slide forward, which I think is a thing on some of them, but it's also a cool detail because then anybody and everybody can't just open the hood on the outside and do something to disable the engine. It has to be unlocked from the inside first. As you can see, I can't just open it like this from the outside. You got to go in here, press the not that one. You got to press the button over here underneath, and then you can come out and open up the hood. So that's a really cool detail. And let me just demonstrate real fast. Obviously she's not going to be very fast. These are made to be durable. I'm just going to go crash into this pole, which, yeah, will be at low speed, but, well, that didn't demonstrate it very well. That actually kind of, I think I hit it close to the wheel too much, so it kind of just came through. But yeah, these things have a pretty good, like, reinforced bumper. So yeah, it's going to say engine damaged and all that, but let me reverse off of this, and it's stuck. Nice. Wow, this thing really isn't living up to being armored like it said in the video. But as you can see, I know that was only at like 20 miles an hour, but yeah, the hood's going to bend a little bit, the bumper's going to bend, but it's going to absorb some impacts. And especially here from the side, I think I'm hitting it in the weakest point in the front, which is the engine, which is where you never want to be hit. But the good part is I think on the sides here it has extra armor and whatnot, so if it was hit on the sides by, say, a police car or a bad guy car or something like that, it would stand up to it better. Anyways, that was it for the MD series. There wasn't a big remaster or anything. It was kind of just, they added some more configurations that kind of made sense for it, which is really cool, honestly. The next major thing that happened is the Ibishu Miramar received a remaster, which I'm trying to find it here. I never play with this car. Let me see. Well, as you can see here in the menu too, some of the configurations look slightly different. They did update the, I believe, the parts and whatnot to be a little bit more realistic looking. So if the cars look a little different in the menu, that's why. I'm trying to find this stupid Miramar. There we go. So the Ibishu Miramar has finally received, which that's just my personal config, don't pay attention, but it's finally received an update, which it's high time, honestly. This car has been neglected forever. But as you can see, we only used to have 4-door sedan Miramars that look like this, but now we have ones with dual headlights like this. We have, let's see, we have 2-door Miramars, so we have Miramar Coupes now, which are also nice. And then we have a Miramar truck, which I don't know why they thought this was a good idea to make, but I guess it's kind of like the Chevy El Camino they made back in the 70s, kind of like a car truck, like a little ute or whatever. It's kind of cool, honestly. This little just 2-door pickup truck. You got your, I think it's a manual, yeah. 3 on the tree, column shifter there. Let me get pop open the hood. I don't know why it won't let me release that hood. Huh. Oh, I forgot. This is a Japanese car, old Japanese car, so the hood opens backwards. But yeah, you got your little engine in there. But yeah, it's honestly pretty cool to have a little Miramar truck now. I mean, it doesn't make, I guess it does make sense because they have these little things in Japan since the roads are so small. But yeah, we have a little Miramar truck now, which is kind of cool. And this is what I mean by the dual headlight design. Before we only had a single headlight, so that's also a pretty nice upgrade. And then like I said, we have the Miramar Coupe as well, which I'm not going to spawn in because that would take too much time. But it's there if you want to drive a Miramar Coupe, which I'm having trouble finding this again. There we go. It's basically just a Miramar with 2 doors. And I think they added this, the decrepit configuration. I don't remember that existing before. You got your little ute race truck and stuff like that. It's honestly I think it was a very nice upgrade for the Miramar because it had kind of been abandoned forever and hadn't really received any updates. And the third biggest thing that happened is we also received an update to the Burnside Special. This is like that 50s, 60s boat car that has always existed in the game, which I honestly like. This is, again, my personal config. But the major update we received is obviously we got a few new configs, like the Stunned, I don't think existed before. And the Bootlegger is also new. But as you can see, we also got a Burnside Special Coupe, which is a very cool addition, I think. And this is something I had wanted for a long time because back in the 50s and 60s, a long time ago, they used to make big, long cars like this that were only 2-door. So it was honestly it was honestly kind of sad before that BeamNG didn't model that, because the Burnside, if you didn't know, used to be only a 4-door car here in BeamNG. So this was actually something I was hoping they would bring here. So it's very nice that we finally have a Burnside coupe, because it makes more sense for the period and time. And then we got a couple more configs like the gasser. The lead sled has been completely revised to be a 2-door instead and be a little bit more lowered than it used to be, along with some cool graphics. And the drag has also been revised a bit. This used to be, obviously since the Burnside only used to have 4-door configs, this used to be a 4-door dragster, but they revised it and made it a 2-door dragster, which I think is really cool and makes more sense, because most drag cars either have no doors, where you like climb in through the window hole, or they have 2 doors, so makes more sense than a sedan. And I believe the stock car is also a new thing, which is also very cool, and it's obviously 2-door. But yeah, we got this. Let me just spawn it in real quick so you guys can see. And the interior, I believe, has seen a little bit of a few updates now. It doesn't look that much different. It just had a few like texture tweaks, so it looks a little bit better. And I know they also added a new engine option. They made the engines look a little bit more detailed, and more period correct, which this looks very good, because back in that period in time, this is what engines look like, so that's very period correct. And I believe they already had an inline 6 and a V8 option on this car in BeamNG, but I think they added a new flat 8 option or something like that. But yeah, the biggest thing is definitely having coupe configs now, because it makes a lot more sense for the period in time. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm sorry it took a while. I just like to thoroughly explain what happened in the update to you guys. I'm sorry if I missed anything. Let me know down below in the comments, and I apologize. I just don't really have a huge amount of information all the time, and I'll forget some stuff. But yeah, let me know if I missed anything. And like I said, you can go on YouTube and watch BeamNG's videos on the update if you want to see a lot more. And I'll link the changelog down below in the description so you can see all the changes put forth in this update, so if you want to read them all. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will probably, if I have time, I guess I'll make more videos, but most likely you won't see another video from me till the next BeamNG update, which will be the fall release. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit notifications for when I actually post videos. And thank you for bearing with me through the video. I'll see you in the next one.